entertainment nerd. Let's go.
What up, you beautiful nerds? I am that nerd, Adc, aka Adrian.
I am a Story Crew.
I'm Lady Mocha.
And I am Uncle Black. And before we go on, fuck you, Astoria Crew. And thank you for coming on.
Yes.
Of course.
And I am.
He knew He knew Ham was going to be on, so he had to come on. That and the blonde wig.
Yep.
It's fine. You don't have to lie. It's fine.
No one can deny Ham.
Moi, lie. Nah.
So how was everybody's week? Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everybody's week.
It was a week.
That, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love the trip I took recently on the behalf of us. I enjoyed that recently, but I'm glad to be home. If you guys missed that, you guys can go to our YouTube channel and check out all those festivities with Hitting the Spot. Very good, awesome food, but I am glad to be home.
There you go. Nothing is better than home, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to kick it off and go straight to Nerd Nauseous tonight.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Shawna's favorite, Nerd Nauseous.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
Tonight's Nerd Nauseous is not an article, but something that I actually made. And I don't know if you guys could see it, so I'm going to pan the camera.
Oh, snap.
Looking good.
Tonight, I made a sirloin steak and ribeye steak marinated in, guess what? My favorite, mayonnaise.
Look at Adrian. Look, Adrian's
we
like,
lost Adrian.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that.
And
I am going to be eating it through the night. This shit is fucking juicy. Like,
I was going to say, it's like, I have a feeling that the acidity in the mayonnaise plus the fat.
It'll break down the protein.
Yeah. It would tenderize it, give it some flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shout out to Chef Mike at Hitting the Spot Catering. I want to know, if you're watching this, really what do you think of that? What do you think?
Dude, the food, like the photos that you guys posted of the food were freaking
those eggs.
I approve.
Like I wanted so like I've never wanted so bad in my entire life to go somewhere and eat.
Yeah, Ernie was hating me there for a second.
Fucking deviled eggs, my favorite.
Oh, I love deviled eggs. Oh,
me too.
Ernie, Travis sent me a TikTok that is right up your alley for keto. This guy made deviled egg salad and put it in a red pepper.
Ooh, wow!
Instead of bread.
Yeah, these had like sriracha on it.
Yum, sriracha is my favorite.
Yeah.
We're gonna go Shawna-licious tonight. Rest in pieces, Reese's Pieces. All right, really quick. It's been a fucked up week or a month.
Yeah.
Yo, so we lost DMX a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, yesterday.
Prince William. But this past week, we lost Black Rob. And if you're not familiar, if you're not in the New York scene, Black Rob was at Whoa.
His big hit. Whoa. Yeah.
One hit wonder.
Yeah.
Still. That
was my shit back in the day.
That was a big song in New York City.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like G.I. Joe. That was a good. You think about it and you sit back and you like, wow, that was a big song. But I think he was cascaded by someone else. Shock G, the man who put the satin on your panties. He never knew a hooker that could share him. He gets around.
He once got busy in the Burger King restroom.
Boom!
There you go.
The Humpty Dance is my chance to do the hump. Go with me, baby.
Do the hump.
I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty. Oh,
do we get flagged? No,
because I'm spoken word. Fuck you.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
You gotta get into these stores.
or
All right.
as the Mandalorian once said, "Dang Ferrick, dang Ferrick."
All right. So next, we did that. We did rest in pieces, Reese's Pieces.
We
What
should.
else? You know what? Let's just jump into the other
Quick
stuff.
gaming news, or not
Quick
yet?
gaming news. We have what was that, Adrian? What we have?
The PlayStation retracting their PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita
Yes. So
downloads.
talk about that, my brother Long.
Yes. A couple of weeks ago, Sony or PlayStation announced that they will no longer have PlayStation 3, Vita, and PSP games on PSN. But
What?
What the shit?
yeah, and everyone went nuts on social media and they were bashing Sony. But in a turn of events, Sony retracted that and PlayStation 3 and Vita games will stay on PSN indefinitely, but PSP is still getting the shaft. I'm not worried. I have hack consoles. I'm not worried. Yeah, so everyone's gonna play. But now you decide to keep PlayStation 3 and Vita games. Okay, but have you seen the prices on PlayStation 3 games?
No, I have not.
Insane.
So
why would they be that high? Like, are people like really want to scout those games?
Yeah, and it's crazy. They want to put them, have them as part of their collections, but I digress. So
yeah, with it being like the PS3 and the Vita, like we're talking about generation old consoles. Like you think,
Like,
I know. PS3 came out in 2006. Vita came out in
generation old
2010. Yeah, but there's still a lot of hardcore PlayStation 3 and Vita players like myself. So there you go.
Like PS4 games, I could still see being like a hot commodity, right? Like,
of
course. A ton of great games came on, and I'm not saying games come out on the PS3, but PS4 is like still pretty relevant, right? But
of course, yes, absolutely.
I don't see a fuss about the PS3 and the Vita.
No, like let that shit go.
Yeah, the Vita.
Exactly.
I mean, it had potential. It really did have potential.
It did, but
But I think it veered out of its lane. It was trying to compete with Nintendo and
with the 3DS, and Sony had no chance.
Enough on PlayStation fucking up. Let's talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, so long you saw this. I'm gonna I have not, and I will repeat that I have not seen this series yet, and there's a reason why.
Seen it, but
I shouldn't spoil it.
But has been telling me a lot of stuff about it, and mainly because he was a really big Captain America, like really loved Captain America, so he was pretty excited about this, especially with. And I don't know how far people have gotten with, but I heard that this last episode introduced who Lee Walker turns
John
into.
Walker.
John Walker.
Should I spoil this? Should I? Yeah.
Do not. Don't go too far.
Don't. If you know, you know.
I know, and
we'll say it like this, okay? If you know, you know.
Right.
That it can be confirmed that who you're thinking, it does happen.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, Rebby Roo. Hey,
Rebby Roo. Hi, Rebby.
No spoilers.
Yes. So no spoilers, but if you know, you know. We'll say it
just
like that.
Just watch Rockin the Winter Soldier, and
But
I will say I am enjoying this series. People know my views on WandaVision, but I am enjoying this series much, much more than I did WandaVision.
It's more. How can I say?
WandaVision. People are like, hey, you had to give a disclaimer on when people are like, do you have to get through the first 3 episodes and you'll be good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was hooked from episode 1.
Yeah.
I was right into it.
You're swept right into the storylines and what's going on and how Falcon and Winter Soldier are dealing with threats, if you will.
But you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's that time of the show
Wash it down with 1 beer,
where our hosts
2 beers,
grab the latest local craft beer
3 beers.
and give it a rating. It's time for Rate That Beer.
All right.
Lay them off
Rate
there, and it could be right there.
that beer. So this is what
What do you have tonight? Oh yeah, you talked about that before. The berry
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 Cuda.
Cuda. Oh,
Dun, dun, dun,
nice.
dun, 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 dun. And dun, 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 dun.
That's the other one.
Mequilibrium. So Mequilibrium I've had, and they're just fantastic. Bless you. And back east I've had. Yeah, so I always try before I come on the show because I have to.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. Here you go.
There it is.
Hold on.
Thesis.
Oh,
Thesis.
Oh, I
Thesis.
like that.
I
like that.
like that. I like that font.
Oh,
No,
What's that?
the can's sexy. I'll
Yeah.
get into the taste here in a minute.
What's
It's the
that?
back.
$4.97 at the front.
The alcohol content?
That's alcohol content.
That's what I thought.
$4.97.
Yep.
Almost 5%. About 5%.
5%. Okay.
Okay, so it's a whiskey sour, and it's very sour, very sour, like make your butthole pucker.
Oh shit.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I'm sorry, 3 Rings. I'm sorry. I love you because remember, I usually have 3 Rings, right?
Yeah, every
Yeah,
week
yeah,
you've
you
had
do,
3
yeah.
rings. 3 rings.
This is the only miss I've had, but
So
this is
far.
a miss. This is a miss.
Mm.
And to back east and 3 Rings, it's nothing about you. There's
It's
always going to be something that just isn't our cup of tea or somebody's
Right.
cup of tea.
Anybody want this?
Nope. Nope. Yo,
Nope.
actually, hold on to that. We're gonna have to do a
Wait.
beer exchange.
Oh,
And see,
God.
We're
maybe
gonna
one of
find
us
some-
would like it.
We're gonna have to find some fool's gold.
I would gladly send it to you.
Before we go.
Before we go,
Like, don't we have something special coming
Yes,
up?
we do.
Yes, we do.
we do.
Something fun and exciting.
We're partnering up with the Locker Room next week for a DC versus Marvel week.
Yes.
And recently, yours truly, on the behalf of all of us, was able to go talk to the owner of the Locker Room, Katie Murray, and get a sit-down interview with her. And we're going to show you that and give our little commentary as it goes. So let me bring that up here.
You know, I think that it's kind of interesting that for so long you would never associate someplace called the Locker Room with nerd culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been, there's been the stereotype.
Welcome, nerds. I'm here with Katie.
Nerd.
Oh, hold on, Shawna.
Oh, mhm.
All right, so here we go. And I don't think anybody, have you guys seen this video yet? Have you guys seen this interview?
I caught it really briefly.
Yes, sorry.
I stalked it for my special drink.
Right. All right, so we're going to display and do you guys want to let them enjoy it, or do we want to talk over it?
Whatever. Go ahead, play. We'll talk over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also talk about a little bit about the
I like
locker room
that.
that I've mentioned. We've me and the
I love the
mentioned a
bull
couple
hat.
times on the podcast. So Katie's here to give you all the 411 and straight from
Fucking
the
bury
source.
it.
So before we get into the locker room, I have some fun questions to ask Katie. Just to get her going and get her nerd brain going a little bit. You ready for this, Katie?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hit me
All
with
right,
it.
all right. First, I'm going to start with some softballs. So, coffee or tea?
Tea. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
Softballs.
And coffee and tea are two things you can get here at the locker room.
Absolutely.
I have not tried coffee at all. I am a
She
coffee
gets
person. But
softballs.
I'm a creature of habit, as Katie could probably tell you. I'm a very creature of habit.
I am highly
Have you been on your dream vacation? If not, what is your dream vacation?
No, I
Well,
haven't been. I would say my dream vacation is probably like a 2-week tour of Ireland. I think it's beautiful landscape. I would love to just like tour through the entire area. I think that would be awesome.
The last movie you've watched?
Inception.
Inception. What'd you think of it?
I love Inception. I've watched it like 800 times.
That's on your list?
Yes, I love it.
What TV show do you like?
The Office, hands down. Only
Who
thing I
doesn't,
watch.
right?
That's what she
I
said.
can binge watch Breaking Bad. That's me.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's what she said.
What are you watching now? Is it The Office?
The Office, always.
Always.
That's what she said.
I told,
Always.
like every line. I've been in a trivia contest. We did a
My
costume
partner.
trivia bar crawl one time. It was awesome.
Wow.
Oh, that's my
What are you
partner.
listening to right now?
That's what
Craig
she said.
Rochel's leadership podcast.
Got to write that down.
Yeah, it's a good one. He's really good.
Worst injury you have ever had?
So I in high school dislocated my kneecap. And it was out of place for like 3.5 hours the first time, and then I did it 7 more times after that. So it's
I
like
find-
Is
Bionic.
that when you were
lied.
being Spider-Man?
Happened.
no, I was not being
Okay.
Spider-Man at the moment.
She's lying. That's when she was being
What were you-
Spider-Man.
what were you doing
We got a
through
video
house?
of her being Spider-Man on
Taxes. So
Taxes.
super light, not.
Katie, high five.
Actually, and this is
Yeah.
the one. Now we're getting to questions I'm kind of interested in because it kind of speaks to your nutrition side of brain, I would imagine. When do you usually go to sleep?
Well, ideally, I'd love to go to bed about 9 p.m. But actually, in
God.
real life, I would say typically between midnight and 2.
Oh,
sometimes
no way.
3.
That's
It depends
way.
on what I have
Get the
going
fuck
on,
up
but
long.
yeah,
can't.
somewhere
No
in
way.
that range.
Nah,
If
yeah,
somebody
I'm
that's
like
into
9.
nutrition, is that something you recommend, or is that kind of not normal?
Ideally, I mean, I believe you need between 6 and 8 hours of sleep or more, depending on who you are and how you
There you
function.
go.
I
functioned on less.
personally run on a little bit less,
Much less.
but I've also done that for a long time, so my body's kind of acclimated to it. But
She's
yeah,
tired.
and sleep is a very crucial part of good nutrition. So don't allow me to devalue it.
Don't tell her I go to sleep at 2 a.m.
Thank you. She's tired.
I'm up editing. So, when did you last go on vacation?
It would have been the end of March. I went to Colorado to meet my boyfriend's family.
Nice. Was that a fun trip?
Oh, it was
She's
an
taking
absolute
guys.
blast. His brother is a chef, and we ate this
Oh,
incredible tableside carved steak. It was like this.
It
steak
was
was
my
amazing.
eye.
Oh, one of those things where just like
Yeah, and I mean, there was like
It's a salt
smoke, and
guy.
he took the dome and like blew it all over the table. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
that's
Oh.
awesome. Have you watched any movies this week? Did you watch Inception this week?
Yeah, I watched it
okay.
this week.
All right. Who is your favorite superhero?
So we've talked about it a little bit. Spider-Man for sure, my superhero,
Spider-Man.
by far the favorite. I think he's just
I
like a
can see
regular
that.
dude trying to help people, and I think
I
that's
can
really
see
cool.
that.
And I've he has a video. I guess he shared it earlier.
I did.
And so I'm dressed up as Superman. This was back in high school. I have like a bodysuit of Superman, and I'm jumping around my high school.
Can we get that
It
video?
was crazy. I just ran around the school all day.
You can't.
Let's have her go viral, people. That's the plan. While we're talking about favorite superheroes, I want to address what we have in front of us right now.
the goodness.
So, if you know anything about me in the podcast, I am pushing for a calendar man. Anything. And Katie was awesome enough to make a calendar man.
Oh shit!
I got it on
Can you
camera.
explain what
Oh
that is?
shit!
Yeah, so typically we base kind of our
I
teas
see the
around
calendar
colors so
out of
that
it.
it represents
I
a
can see where she's
character or whatever we're creating. So this one in particular, your character's typically red and white in most of the depictions
How
of it.
good does that
So
look?
that one's like we call it a
That was
cherry
awesome.
bomb base. So it's a pomegranate
Oh,
liftoff, which is like a
shit.
B6 B12 booster with some cherry flavoring, topped with it's like a sweet pina colada mix on top.
Oh my god, I'm
and so
fucking
that
jealous.
is
I
the
want that.
That sounds good.
I want that
And
calendar.
Katie is rocking
Shawna.
for you, Shawna, for Lady Mocha.
Oh,
Squirrel Girl.
Oh.
Yeah,
Squirtle!
so I hear that you inspired this character, and so we will have some fun treats for you guys come Saturday.
Nice.
Some exciting
Yes,
stuff. So, but yes, this
tomorrow.
one is a kind of like a Skittles base, is what we call it. So it's kind of tastes like you threw all the Skittles together in the bottom, and then like an
By the
orange
way,
peach mix on
that
top.
drink is on its way to
I was speaking like some nuts on top or something.
Well, maybe we'll do that.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I would fly,
You
hands
would
down.
fly.
Yeah, I have a kind of different podcast, but I love Mary Poppins. Big fan. Since I was little, I've been obsessed with like this concept of her and the umbrella, and that she just like flies with it. So if I could pick anything, it would for sure be flying.
Nice. So now let's get into the promotion that we've been hitting at. What gave you the idea for the idea of a DC versus Marvel themed week, which is coming up?
Yeah.
What gave you the idea for that?
Yeah, so the 28th is Superhero Day, April 28th.
Yeah!
So typically we kind of try to morph things around, whether it's days or holidays or events happening and things like that. So this obviously was a perfect time to implement this.
4 days.
So we have 10 different characters that are versus one another. And each day there is a Marvel character versus a DC character throughout the week. So each day, Monday through Friday. And then on Friday evening, we will go live and announce out of the, like throughout the week, if more DC characters sold or more Marvel characters sold. And then that means on Saturday, those 5 only will get to come back. So people can come in and enjoy whatever their favorite.
Oh shit!
Is Calendar Man in the list?
It isn't, but we may have. It may be an honorary character.
Obviously, Squirrel Girl.
As far as activities, besides the competition between the drinks, is there anything that we can plan? Anything we can drop right now?
Yeah, we're actually going to be doing some giveaways, particularly on social media.
Okay.
So we'll have a couple different things typically on our Instagram stories or like, share, tag kind of post. So if you'll stay tuned for those, we're going to do a t-shirt giveaway. Actually, we'll probably do 2 t-shirt giveaways as well as maybe a drink giveaway if you're in our area. So yeah, stay tuned for that stuff. And they should be.
She's talking about giving away our merch.
Should be at merch has arrived here, so they'll be rocking Entertainment Nerd News merch.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Which I'm very excited about. I've seen the shirts and I think they turned out rather well. So how do you develop drink ideas? Like, how do you come up with like different ideas as far as what's on the menu?
Yeah. So for the most part,
Wow.
like in McPherson in specific or any of our nutrition clubs, we pretty much try and create a menu revolving around the town. So here in McPherson, like in our Super Bomb category, it's just like our highest tea category level. We have 5 different drinks that are named after the elementary school mascots.
Right.
So we try to really cater to the area. This one's called the Locker Room, obviously. So we have drinks like touchdown and home run and different like sports
Slam
terms.
dunk, which you
And
told me
so
about,
people
Shawna.
like that type of thing. We have the school mascots. We have a bull pup, a bulldog, a central tiger, so we try to really kind of customize things to around here because it's fun to come in and get your mascot at the locker room or whatever.
Get a bulldog.
Yep, exactly. On game day, we have people who religiously come in and get bulldogs. Like,
Are you serious?
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's like their superstition thing now. Yeah, so we do a lot of that, but outside of that, as far as like pop-up flavors and stuff go, a lot of times we use like calendar events and different things, holidays, things of that nature.
Calendar man.
Work around.
Awesome. How many locations does the locker room have?
So we're actually all independently owned. So there's only one locker room location. But as far as nutrition clubs go, there are actually more nutrition clubs around the nation than there are Starbucks.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge thing. They're all just independently owned. So you won't see the Locker Room Nutrition and Energy anywhere else, but you will see the Ridge Nutrition at Maple and Mays in Wichita, which is my very original one. You'll see Sand Creek Nutrition in Newton, which is the other one I currently own. In our organization around Wichita and the surrounding areas, we have, I think we're at 16, maybe 17. We just keep like signing leases, so it's growing a lot. But I think we have 17 around the area.
How do you
So I personally only have to like totally manage 2 of them. And so that is balancing enough for me personally, but I just kind of get to mentor a lot of the other locations. And so like as they're doing things, if they have questions, they can reach out. Most of them trained out of a nutrition club originally, and then they went to duplicate their own locations. And so they've kind of got a grasp on it, and then we just get to help them fine tune details and answer questions.
Just more like an overseer.
Yeah. I just get to help, which is cool.
How does someone outside of these locations, like we have a big following in New York, for example, how does somebody outside these locations on the East and West Coast get these drinks?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple different options. A, find a local nutrition club. I'm sure there is 100 billion up there. Option B is anything we do behind the bar here, you can also do at home. So like Adrian has products at home, so he can make a shake and tea at home whenever he wants. And that's something I can hook you up with information on that if that's something you're interested in. And you can get as creative as you want. That's the cool part at home. You aren't restricted to whatever's on our menu. You can whip up whatever your little heart desires.
And I will have her email in this video right now. There. Right there. I'm staring at it right now. How do I feel after my workouts? What's the best thing to do after a workout?
So as far as that goes, we have a whole section on our menu we call them ripped shakes. And so you can come in and it's a post-workout shake. So it involves our Rebuild Strength, which is a post-workout. So it has L-glutamine, BCAAs, and it's specifically a whey casein protein blend, which is designed as a fast-releasing and a slow-releasing protein. So your body's going to be absorbing right after the workout as well as into your day. So it helps rebuild those muscle fibers that you've torn during your workout. It helps. I personally think it helps with soreness. It's like if I don't drink it after a workout, I feel it. But yeah, absolutely, you have to do something to refuel, and lots of water.
That's like the
to
whole
sweat out a
drink
lot.
right there.
Hydration.
Right.
So both of those things are
Shit.
How do you? Now this is
I'm
where most
excited
people
to see
fall
these
off
drinks.
because of holidays and social events. How do you plan for social events when you're trying to stick to a diet?
Yeah, that's a huge thing. We've been talking about it as you're about to go to New York. So ultimately, my biggest tip is that this is a lifestyle diet, quote unquote. I'd say it's more of a lifestyle, not so much a diet. So the ultimate goal is not to do something for 2 months and then be like, oh, great, I'm done. Because
Right.
that is when people are like, well, I tried it and then I gained the weight back.
Yep.
So you have to learn to work things into a lifestyle. So that means when you're going on vacation, maybe you get to be a little more laxed and enjoy your vacation, because who wants to miss an entire vacation full of food? Well, I sure don't, and I'm a nutrition coach. So
Yeah, especially when you're about to judge some food. So.
yeah, I've heard. I'm excited to see that. So I mean, you have to learn to find balance in life. But that means as soon as you get back from vacation, you get to go strict on your plan.
See, that was her telling me.
She just told me
See
she's
that?
about to be mean to me when I get back.
Yeah, pretty much.
What should I be looking at when I look at like nutrition labels when I'm shopping for food? Like, what are those some trigger words that make me want to put it down?
So I would say, I mean, things to be looking for in general. Obviously, you're looking at your calorie count. And portion size per your calorie count, because if you can cut your portion size in half, even if the label says that's a full serving, that doesn't necessarily that's what fits in your plan. So calorie count, I always look at protein. That's kind of my number one thing I'm looking at. I obviously want it to be something high protein if that's the intention behind it. If it's not something that I'm intending to be a protein source, then I'm looking at carbohydrates. So basically the difference between your carbohydrates are sugars or
Dietary fibers.
No, sugars or fiber. I was like, what's the other part? So fiber is typically considered a good carb. So when we talk about net carbs, that means they've subtracted out the fiber because that is a good carbohydrate. And ultimately, I think a big stigma around carbs are bad, which is totally incorrect. Carbs are what fuel your body. That is like, it gives you brain power. It's how you function. Carbs are absolutely necessary in your world. Finding them in moderation and in the correct sources. So something high in sugar is not a great source of carbohydrates.
I agree.
Versus where if it's a fiber-based carb, that's a good option. And you'll find balance in both of those. Having natural sugars and healthy sugars are great as well. Kind of like in fruit, there's natural sugars in fruit. Typically, we recommend use fruit around a workout because your body's going to use those natural sugars and absorb them and use it as fuel versus storing it as body fat.
At one point to me, you were mentioning, and this was kind of surprising to me, I didn't realize this, that sugar is sugar no matter where it comes from, because I was joking about eating a lot of fruit. And you mentioned, well, a lot of fruit is just as bad as probably candy. So I mean, there are different types of sugar. There's like natural sugars, refined sugars, alcohol sugars, all different kinds of sugars. But ultimately, when it boils right down to it, sugar is still counted as sugar, whether it's coming from a strawberry or a Snickers. So take your pick, find your balance, but know that fruit can be kind of a dangerous thing. Great for hydration, great antioxidants. By no means am I telling you not to eat fruit. Incorporate it into your diet. It's awesome. But
sugars are easier to
the
burn.
correct fruits are also important, because like a banana is extremely starchy and high in carbs, very high in sugar in comparison to a berry of some sort. Typically, they're a little less starch dense.
So basically you're telling me that if I want to look like Superman, I need to eat like grain fibers and like.
Yep, fibers are great. Particularly, typically what we recommend is a high protein, lower carb diet, incorporating some healthy fats. Particularly fibrous carbs are awesome. So that's your veggies, baked, steamed, however you want to do it. But incorporating lots of green and colorful vegetables into your diet.
What are some questions that you wish, like when you take on a client and you're helping them through their nutritional path, like you wish they would ask you, but they never ask you? And what are some common belief myths that people come in with?
As far as questions go, I think probably asking more about some of the myths would be helpful, because I think a lot of times, like I said, people associate carbs as bad, and that is super untrue. They just have a poor relationship with carbs, and people have told them, oh, don't eat carbs, avoid carbs. So I think if they ask more questions about those, they would feel a little more informed going forward. And we do our best to inform people of that type of thing, but we can't cover it all until they encounter
She kind of avoided that, didn't she?
As far as myths go, I would say don't eat after 8 p.m. That's a bunch of crap. If you were up till 2 a.m., you need to continue to fuel your body until 2 a.m. It just needs to stay really lean, because you're about to go into a fast overnight. So your body's going to store something if it's high sugar carb, the crappy snacks that lots of us eat at night.
So go down like a pound of Skittles before
Not
bed.
a solid choice.
Okay.
Mayonnaise.
That's good to know. Now I got questions from the squad, from the nerd squad.
Questions from you guys.
So
I like that, Mike.
Lady Mocha, aka Squirrel Girl, wants to know, how do you feel nutrition plays into nerd and pop culture?
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting question. So as far as that goes, we actually have a coach on our team who he does game design and is very into nerd pop culture, super geeky guy. We love him. And so it's been interesting to kind of see his balance. So he is a gym rat who's a nerd, and you don't always see that a lot of times. So that's been kind of a cool thing that we've seen.
Love that.
As far as I think often in pop and nerd culture and with video games and all of those type of things, a lot of times it's a sedimentary lifestyle. And so learning how to incorporate the two. We actually have Super Cyan Training is a guy who comes in here.
What?
He has a whole Instagram page, and it's all revolving around. So it's been kind of really interesting to see how people incorporate their nerd love into a fitness lifestyle. And so I think pretty much the stigma is that you have to eat junk food and be lazy, which is not true at all. And I think that's the stigma around it. And so I think probably learning how to incorporate things that taste good. I made you a tea that tasted like a 7-Up one time, but it was healthy. And so basically helping people understand that you can drink and eat things that taste good, that are good for you. You don't just have to eat cheese puffs. You know what I mean? So, there are so many options out there that I think people just don't even know about. And so I think, it all just kind of plays a role into it. And it's been really cool, like I said, to see how people have incorporated and kind of broken that stigma with, I'm a nerd and I love to work out. And I think that's really cool.
My question, since it's part of kind of what we do, the New York crew likes to review breweries and stuff like that. How do you feel about alcohol in a plant?
That's a good question.
So as far as that goes, again, I think it's a lifestyle. I have a beer every now and again. I think you are allowed to
Katie, and
have an alcoholic beverage. Again, everything is about moderation. And finding a balance in life. Typically, if you're on a plan, I would not recommend drinking beer. A lot of times it's very high in sugars and things, or in carbs, different elements of that nature. Same with mixed drinks. If you're mixing it with pop, obviously that's not ideal.
Sure did.
But again, it's a balance. And so a lot of times if people are on a plan, there's lots of healthy options at this point. You have Trulies, you have, low carb beers, you have just like a classic gin and tonic kind of thing. I mean, there are a lot of things that, could be an option, although naturally alcohol does kind of hinder your body. So it's something to keep in mind when you're on a plan. If you're, focused around health and fitness, alcohol is not something that is necessarily conducive to a healthy lifestyle. So
just have it on the weekend.
It's important to monitor how much you consume.
Okay. And then next up is Uncle Black. His favorite person is Green Lantern, which I hear that's going to be in the works.
It is in the works.
Oh my God!
All right, so he wants to know, what's the most creative drink that you made?
So we did a Dr. Seuss pop-up week a couple weeks ago, and we had some really crazy ones. We had Circus McGurkus, which was like 3 colored. It was like yellow, blue, and red on top, or reddish purple. So that was a really cool looking one. We did Cat in the Hat Cosmo, and it was like a red, white, and black one. I do the Lorax,
red, white, and black.
Moose juice and goose juice. And, we just did all kinds of crazy stuff. So out of those, or we also did an office themed pop-up week. And personally, that's obviously that's my favorite. And so we did all kinds of fun ones for that. We did like a Shroot Farms, and it was like, it looked like a beat. So we can cater to just about anything. So it's really fun to come up with the drink ideas.
And I think you've been really pondering this next question for a little bit.
Yes.
So he wants to know, zombie apocalypse or mutant invasion, which would you prefer?
I prefer is a strange word. Okay, so I have been thinking about this all day long. I really feel like I'd have to go with a zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
I feel more educated on a zombie apocalypse, so I feel like if I had to go into something,
You think you could survive?
I don't think. I think I would die for sure. But I think it would be fun trying to survive. So I think it would. Yeah, I think it would just be really interesting to watch this all unfold, and I think the world would be created simpler in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
All your everyday things that we lean on, technology and rudimentary things as far as toilet paper and hygiene, like go out the window, and so you're creating this entire new world in essence. And that's if I get to be like the 0.01% of the population that is not a zombie. I could go for being a zombie though. I think that could maybe be fun. Just run around eating people.
You find me in a corner just curled up.
Oh, perfect.
Rocking back.
What would you prefer?
I think I would prefer a zombie mutant invasion.
Hey, okay, combine the two.
Yeah.
The zombie is kind of a mutant in essence. So.
I would, let's just, why not? Just
Combine it all together. If we're gonna end the world, like let's go all out, right?
Exactly. And finally, this is a kind of a deep one. He wants to know, like business-wise, like what are your goals? What do you want your legacy to be?
That is kind of a deep question. So as far as what I do on a daily basis, my ultimate goal is just to impact people and create a healthier, happier lifestyle for them. But on the ulterior side, I also, I mentor a whole team full of people, and for them, I strive to help them reach their goals. And ultimately, I think impacting people is probably a broad term for my mission in life, whether that be financially, whether that be nutritionally, whatever it is. I love and have a passion for people.
Mm-hmm.
I love the conversations and relationships we get to have. Nutrition goes so much deeper than just eating the right foods.
Right.
We just talked about stress eating, and stress eating and emotional eating, and there's so many elements to it that we get to talk about outside of just, here are your macros, here are your micronutrients.
Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck. Drink your teas. So. There's just a whole nother layer to it that we get to break through barriers with people, and some people don't even want to hop on the scale. There's body shaming and all kinds of stuff that we deal with as nutrition coaches and in a wellness field. And so I think creating a good relationship with nutrition for people is a big part of that. So impacting people in general, whether it's through nutrition or through emotional realms of basically pushing people past what their limits are, like in a good way.
If you're looking for
I think
nutrition
seeing
coach people
further than they can see. And so our company, one phrase that we use a lot is borrow my eyes, is like, I can see more for my clients than they can see. So they're kind of short visioned, nearsighted. And my goal is that I can be, kind of cast that vision for them and
I think it's
through those barriers.
Yeah, I think there's an element to that. Like, at least for me, like I could say, like I see myself in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
So even like subtle changes or like little wins, Katie could tell you this, like I get hard to get excited about, because it's just like, well, I don't think I've changed. Well, I don't think I've had a good week, and having that nutritionist, somebody in your corner to be like, no, you're doing good, or you're doing bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you need a reality check.
It is good. So I would highly suggest that if you're looking for somebody like that, I would suggest Katie, and the email is definitely there. I don't know if you can work with somebody who's in a different city.
Yeah, absolutely. I have clients all over the US. I actually have a couple outside of the country. This isn't, we're in 94 different countries as far as our company goes. So
wow.
Super flexible as far as that is. We do a lot of virtual check-ins. We even have virtual like weight loss challenges and stuff that we host. If that's something you guys are interested in.
The most recent competition they had, you could have won $2,500.
We usually start with a wellness profile and just kind of outline your goals and show you how we can use the products and help you out. But and you get to make fun teas at home.
And if you're in the McPherson, Kansas area, the chances are you're going to see this nerd here like every day.
Yeah, pretty much.
So with that, we're going to let you guys go. But I want to highly suggest, like I said, contact Katie if you have any nutrition questions or are interested in buying some of these products or getting on a plan. Also, stay tuned in for the week of April 26th through, I think that'd be the 30th. For all the happenings, we're going to be live streaming on Friday of that week, I believe. And also there'll be things going up on socials about that week going forward. So stay tuned. A lot up the pipeline, and catch you guys later.
Now,
Awesome.
with that said, you heard what Katie's going to be doing on her end. But let's talk about what we're doing on our end. And I know Uncle Black is pretty excited about this. So, so as you saw in the video, she mentioned the matchups of the drinks. We're going to take those matchups, those superheroes, and what if they were actually to fight? Who would win? So every day when the locker room and Katie are doing their thing with the drink competition, an article will go up on our website of us putting those heroes against each other. Ernie is taking Tuesday's article, and I am taking the other three. But he's like, man, I want Tuesday's article. Now I don't know if you're paying attention to the video, you know what Tuesday's article is going to be. But Ernie, I don't know if you want to go into a little bit. What makes you psyched about it?
Can't hear you, Ernie.
Can't hear you.
You too, Shawna.
Yeah, hold on. All right.
There you go.
Super headset has its own separate mute button. Shauna's muted too, so I am
There we go.
I am super stoked for Tuesday, and that it's green. It's the battle for green. Like I'm not saying anything else. So I think I've thrown my all wits, and Adrian, you will get a final copy hopefully by tomorrow. Like I've drawn all my wits, and I've written this and rewritten this because it's one of those things of it's green versus green, Hulk versus the Lanterns.
Hulk versus Lantern.
No. She said lantern, but
she said lantern.
Lantern. But I'm going to give the fans which one?
Which lantern?
Which lantern? And it's the Hulk. So did he fight one or did he fight them all? One at a time.
Right, the entire Lantern Corps.
And it being the Hulk. Hold on, I'm gonna throw this. It being the Hulk. What powers the Hulk?
Oh, good question.
Why does the Hulk get angry? What emotion?
Anger.
And what is anger associated with when it comes to lanterns?
The red.
Rage.
Mm-hmm.
Rage.
Oh, Dexter.
Dexter. So maybe Dexter makes an appearance. Maybe Atrocitus makes an appearance. Maybe the Guardians makes an appearance. Maybe Parallax makes an appearance. And hold on. And I want to say, when I say the original Parallax, and I'm talking about Hal Jordan with 10 rings like this. OG.
Watch out, Banner.
Because you know what? Banner
you're giving away too much.
All I'm going to say is
10 rings.
Mm-hmm. So each day when the article goes up, also the poll will go up on our social medias. So you guys can chime in on each of these matchups. Mm-hmm. And like with Katie in the locker room, how Friday is going to be the culmination for her when she's going to announce with DC or Marvel one. On our Saturday show, those matchups are going to be our topics. We're going to dive really deep into all of those matchups.
And of course, because to be fair, Squirrel Girl is not involved because we all know she would kick everyone's ass.
You know what though?
Do you want to announce what you want? Do you want to announce the pop-up matchup?
Here's what I want to know for all the fans, everybody that watches this throughout the week. I want to know, what's your opinion? Squirrel Girl or Calendar Man? Who would win in that battle? And I would love for everybody, and maybe we'll throw this up as a separate poll on the page in our Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and TikTok.
Twitter,
Squirrel
whatever.
Girl versus Instagram versus Calendar Man. You know what? You know what?
Calendar Man.
Squirrel Girl.
Don't know, but I would love to.
And Galactus.
You know what?
Actually, Galactus and her are BFFs.
Oh, there you go.
And on Saturday, as long as UPS loves us, we're all going to be drinking our drinks, right?
Yes.
I'm super
Hopefully,
excited.
yes.
I am
so excited for that.
I am too, because I think in my well, you know what? My drink, I am gonna make my drink a little extra special.
You're going to spike.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna
yes.
Oh,
Of course he
you're
does.
right. Mine too.
Nothing. But my question is, and those drinks look good. Are they based off a Nutrisystem?
Yes.
Like, I could just share that.
Nice.
Like, not the whole song, but like still, we got some time.
Can we agree, growing up when you heard that theme song,
Dude, it
you
was
kind of
Friday
got a
night.
little creeped out?
No,
It did,
I got
yes.
excited because I knew it was Friday night.
I know, but you still
It
knew
No,
that there was a chance. There
was
was
a big
50-50 shot that there was going to be a creepy story up in there.
No,
Mhm.
because it was Robert
Yeah.
Stack.
I
Yes.
know, but
He
still, I was
picked
like,
a
oh,
good
this
week
is
to
so
quit
creepy.
smoking.
Who voiced
He
Ultra
picked a
Magnus in the
bad
animated
week
movie?
to quit smoking.
So, yeah,
Yeah, right.
the point of all this is to engage. And
Yes.
Mhm.
we will be paying attention. And like I said, this is supposed to be what better fan event than the DC versus Marvel event, right? Both sides coming together and having friendly banter, and we want to hear it. So we'll be around, and we will be paying attention. And like we mentioned before, engage because there could be something in it for you, and also engage because that's what we do in the Nerdom, and all those goodness.
You
So
ain't getting nothing like this, but
nothing like
still.
that. Nothing like that. But something. So I guess we'll say from all of us, from all of you.
So you,
Yeah,
that's it. We're done for the night. From all of us,
let's to all of you.
you, drink up.
Thank
Drink
you.
I am not drinking this again. You just fucking-
Oh shit! Yo, I finished my fucking Barracuda.
Thanks.
Entertainment nerd.